Okay, so what causes lightning?
Well, lightning is basically a big, if you like, massive static electricity charge that comes from the clouds and joins to the earth with a huge surge of electricity which superheats the air to incredible temperatures, around about 20,000 degrees Celsius.
Okay, so how is that formed?
It's formed up in the clouds. The thunderclouds themselves can be up to sort of 15, 16 miles deep. So if you think about, as you're walking around the academy, you might find that as you're scuffing your feet and then you go to grab a door, you get that little shock, that static shock, don't you? Okay, yeah. That happens in the clouds with tiny, tiny, tiny little ice particles. And they move around, creating that static electricity. And then when there's a big enough amount of static electricity, it's got enough energy to actually travel down towards the ground and hit the earth.
Okay, so what is the point in lightning?
It's not really a point to lightning. It's more an effect of a natural weather. If there's enough ice, enough particles, and the clouds are at the right temperature, then the lightning will be created.
Okay, so how is it useful? Is it useful?
We've tried for thousands of years to make it useful and tried to capture it. The problem is, as soon as it is released, we don't know where it's going to be released. We can try to predict with our clouds, and we can see the clouds, and you can follow thunder clouds and lightning clouds, but actually finding out where it is very, very difficult.
So what happens if lightning strikes something?
It usually, and everyone talks about it striking the tallest buildings and the tallest trees and all that kind of thing. It's not always the case. But if it hits a building, most buildings like this school, churches and office blocks, they all have on them a lightning conductor, which is a very tall, thick piece of copper metal, and that runs down the side of the building into the floor, and it takes the electricity, the static electricity, around to the floor, keeping the building safe.
Okay, so can someone survive a lightning strike?
Yeah, absolutely. In Britain, there's around about 40, 50 people every year that get struck by lightning, and usually only about 3 or 4 of them die. The rest, no problem at all. You will end up with probably a burn somewhere where the lightning hits you, and then as it travels through your body, it'll also come out of your body. Some usually on the foot. People have had their shoes blown off, and they end up with burns on their feet. You can sometimes have problems with brain damage as well, but most people survive, which is good.
How can you protect yourself from lightning?
Right, now it depends where you are. If you're outside, there are 2 things you can do. One, stay away from tall objects, buildings, trees, anything like that, and water. For some reason, we're not quite sure, lightning is more likely to strike you if you're near ponds, rivers, lakes, that kind of thing. But if you are stuck outside and can't get anywhere, crouch down on the floor, feet together, but whatever you do, don't run around and don't lie down, because that makes you more attractive to the lightning, if you like. If you're in a car, brilliant, that's the best place you could be, okay? And everyone thinks it's all to do with the rubber tyres. It's like, no, it's not quite the rubber tyres, because remember, this lightning's travelled probably 20 miles. It can certainly travel the sort of 6 inches across the rubber. It's the metal cage of the box. So stay in the car, don't touch anything, and you'll be safe as houses. If you're in a house, stay away from the windows, unplug all your electrics, and don't touch anything metal, like radiators or table chair legs or anything like that, and you'll be fine.
Okay, well, thank you for taking the time to talk to me about lightning.
No problem. It's a pleasure. Thank you.